Well, hey there, YouTube friends. So good to see you today. We're upstairs and we are going to throw together a quick summer food. We're going to make dinner tonight with whatever that I had around the house, what produce I could come up with, and what meat I had thawed. And I was thinking, what can I do today? And I was like, ooh, let's make my jalapeno stuffed pepper inspired mini meatloaves. So this is something I've never done exactly like before, but I have made some hamburgers recently that were stuffed with a recipe I kind of came up with in my head, and I thought, let's turn them into mini meatloaves. So I won't have a recipe for you. I don't have a blog that I have made or one that I'm following. So pause me, take notes, watch this over and over again, but it is an inspiration video on how you can spice up the ordinary using what you have in your kitchen. Because if you've been around for a while, you know that I am a no-waste kitchen and I like to make up recipes using what I have. So welcome. If you're new here, my name's Angela. I'm the Inquisitive Farm Wife, and I'm so happy that you found the channel. Those of you that have been around a while, welcome back. Always good to spend some time with you. Well, let's get busy because it is already supper time and I haven't even started this project. Well, the first thing we're gonna do is I have my Vitamix, and this is the dry blender. I'm gonna use it because I have it. Don't go out and buy it if you don't. A regular blender should work perfectly fine, but because I have it, this is what I'm using today. And what do I have here? This is some English muffin bread. I bought it and I was super disappointed with it. It just kind of fell apart on me. And so I thought, well, what am I gonna do with it? And the pieces that stayed together, we ended up making BLTs out of one night. And then I thought, okay, well, let's make breadcrumbs out of the rest of it. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. You can also toast these up to become croutons. Could have used them in several different ways. But I needed breadcrumbs, so that is what they're gonna be. And then this didn't get wasted. Although I do think that my chickens and other poultry would have been more than happy to help take this and make it into eggs. So in it all goes. It's pretty full. We'll see how this happens. I do have my tamper ready if need be. You know what? Let's just go ahead and stick it in there just in case. So in just a matter of a few seconds, we have breadcrumbs. I'll go ahead and shut this off, unplug it, turn it to the side, and I'll grab my meat. So what I have here is homegrown hamburger. If you're wondering about the color, this is what happens. I believe it's called oxidization. So where the inside is nice and bright and pink, that's what we're used to, and then the outside turns a little brown. That's because it's been sitting in the refrigerator for a few days, and you look on the inside and it's nice and pink. This is natural process. This is what happens to meat. When you see it brown on the inside and pink on the outside, that's when you should be scared. That's when they have probably taken the meat inside out and they're hiding older meat in with better meat, or they're putting artificial dyes and things in it. So I'm gonna throw in all these breadcrumbs because this is 3 pounds of meat. Because for me, I might as well go ahead and make some for the freezer, because harvest season is just around the corner and it's gonna be really handy to have on the go little meatloaf pucks that we could actually warm up very easy, maybe in the air fryer, and I can stop, come into the house, and then warm them up and then get back out to the field. Next, I'll go ahead and just add in some milk. I'm not really measuring, I'm just using what's left in the container. And to this, I need to add egg. Today we're gonna use peacock eggs. So 1 peacock egg is typically equal to about 3 chicken eggs. Did you see how huge that yolk is? And because we have so much milk, I really do think that one would probably be enough for the 3 pounds, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab a second one just because I have plenty of them. Next thing I'm gonna do is grab some salt. And some pepper. Plenty of fresh ground pepper for the farmer. I'm gonna get my hands right down in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of get this started. I'm gonna see where we're at textural wise with all the milk and the egg and the breadcrumbs, and see if I need to add more liquid or more binder like crackers or whatever, oatmeal. And I'm just using my hands because I can get a good feel. The meat is a little cold because I had it in the refrigerator. Typically, I like to have my meat at room temperature. It just kind of works better, but you know what? It's okay. We're working with what we got. Okay, it is kind of feeling perfect for a regular meatloaf, but I have a feeling for stuffing meatloaf, I may have to add a little bit more substance here. I'm gonna clean my hands. I'm gonna go ahead and add probably about a cup of oats to this. And I've also got a packet of onion soup mix. I will use up to 1 per pound, but because we're going to stuff these, I really kind of want to let the inside be the star of the show. But this is gonna give a little bit extra flavor, and it will kind of dry it out a little bit more too. So we'll just get in here and we'll mix this up and see how this works. There we go. There, now the meat is starting to kind of mix in, and I just use my hand and I twist and I pull and I turn and I really work it over good. You could do this with a mixer and a mixing bowl if you wanted, but to me, this looks like it's gonna take shape. You know, like if I were to make a meatball out of it, we're close. Not quite there, but I think the oatmeal will soak this up. So I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna work on the filling. Now that I've cleaned my hands up good and I've cleaned up my workstation, we're going to work on our stuffing, our filling, you know, our main excitement ingredient. And I'm really gonna have fun with this. I'm gonna make it a little bit different than I had the other night for my stuffed hamburgers. I'm gonna add a few extra things. I'm gonna do a few extra steps, and I'm so excited about it. So come on in, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is plug in my stovetop. So turn on your stove to a medium heat. And what I have here is bacon fat. We save our bacon fat in a jar. You can buy this stuff called Bacon Up, but why do that if you make your own bacon? So while that's starting to warm, I've got myself a nice large onion. And I'm going to cut this entire onion up. Remember, we're working with 3 pounds of meat here. Save your tops, save your skins. This makes for excellent broth or stock later. Peel off any of that outside bit that you don't want. I'm going to cut my onion in half, leaving the end on. I am going to score this, and then we're going to start slicing. And I kind of want these in small chunks, so I really should have probably made a few more this way and go a little bit smaller this way. I don't want them to get too terrible big. Same thing with the other side, not going all the way to the root. So it kind of gives me like a handle. And again, we're wanting a kind of a dice, a small dice. Okay. Bacon grease has melted. And into the pot this will go. And what I want to do here is we're gonna sweat these onions. Actually, I would love to kind of give them a little bit of caramelization. So, while these cook, we'll work on the next step. I'm going to take an entire brick of cream cheese. It hasn't been out on the counter as long as I would like. Normally, you know, the softer it is, the better it's going to, more pliable it's going to be. But it's okay, because these warm onions on top here will take care of any of that. And then I would normally say use jalapenos, but I don't have any ready in the garden. But I have these Hungarian peppers, which are hot. And I'm going to leave the seeds and everything in here. And we're gonna go ahead and slice this up. I'm not much of one on heat anyway. The rest of my family is. If you don't have fresh, feel free to use the canned kind. Pickled jalapenos work really well. When I made the hamburgers, I actually used both pickled and fresh jalapenos. Again, these are the banana peppers, the hot Hungarians. So they really need to be more yellow than green. So a couple of them I think I picked a little too soon, but it's okay. We're still gonna use it. What I could find in the garden today. It's a nice big one, so we're actually gonna quarter this. What I have here is pre-cooked diced bacon. And let's see, this is a 1/2 cup measurement. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna put in at least two full ones. So probably a 1.5 cups, because these are nice and full. About a cup. Took a little bit of that out. A cup of cooked bacon. That's quite a bit. That's close to what, 1/2 pound? Check on our onions here. They're getting here. Still want to cook them a little bit more. They're just starting to get slightly translucent. Okay, now I want these to be good and cheesy, so I'm probably gonna get, let's see, here's the cup, maybe even 1.5 cups to 2 cups. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2 cups of cheese. We're gonna set this aside. We don't want to add it just yet, since the onions are starting to cook and they're getting a little close. What I'm going to do next is get some garlic. Okay, now this choice is going to be up to you. The garlic is going to cook in the filling, so you can put it in this, or I'm just going to put it directly into the filling today, because I do not want to overcook it. But many times I do like to saute it. And these are teeniest, tiniest little cloves I've ever seen in my life. So we're just throwing a bunch of them in here, probably a clove per pound, one nice sized clove. What I love about this thing, I don't even know if you can, I think you can buy it still. It's from Pampered Chef. You can leave the skins on and everything, and all the meat of the garlic will just press right out and the skins will stay right in there. See how tiny these are? I'm considering all of those one clove. It's got this little brush. You're supposed to be able to just kind of push that right back out of there. And then you can get your skins out real easy. Yes, you can save those garlic skins in with your onion skins to put in your broth. Okay, looks like our onions are starting to pick up a little bit of color. This is this is exactly what I want to see. Starting to pick up that color, get that umami, get a little caramelization. It's just going to give it a little extra flavor. Have it go just a moment more. But now we'll add our onions into our cream cheese mixture. Probably need a slightly bigger bowl for this. Oh, it smells so good already. Okay, so now I'm going to take the heat of those onions to kind of squish up that cream cheese. I'm going to mix all this together. And I'm just going to kind of keep pressing and squeezing. I could have put this cream cheese in the microwave for maybe 30 seconds, but honestly, it's just a little bit of patience and the heat of this onion will melt this enough to be able to mix it. So this, like this, and then add the cheese would make an amazing dip. I know because I've done it. It is delicious. It's like jalapeno popper dip, I guess. And I think there is many recipes on that probably are similar to what I just did. But we're not done here. We're gonna kind of cool this down a little bit by adding my bits and pieces of barbecue sauce. I have a little bit of the honey barbecue Baby Ray's, and then we like the honey barbecue, just the off-brand. And I just want to get this out of my refrigerator and use this up. And there was just maybe, if I'm lucky, a tablespoon in this one. So we're gonna add this to the mixture. Barbecue sauce with caramelized onions is one of my favorite things ever. Add bacon, oh wow. Now the cheese. And see how I have big pieces of cheese shreds? You can also take a block of cheese and cut it into chunks, and that would work perfectly well too. Okay, just to make myself more room, and we already have the dish dirty, I'm gonna put this back into this bowl just to give us a little more room here on the counter, make it a little bit easier to show you what I'm doing. Now that I've made a little more room on the counter, I had to kind of clean things up. I'm a clean as you go kind of cook. I'm gonna go over to the oven and turn on 400 degrees. I forgot to do that, so I've got to get that going right now. And then what I'm gonna do is go over to the sink and I'm gonna spray these pans. Aren't these the cutest mini loaf pans? I found these at a stellar deal, I'm sure. And my tip to you is do your spraying over the sink so you don't make a mess on your counters and floor. Okay, I got myself a couple of scoops. I'll put the smaller one in the dip and the bigger one in the meat. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a couple of scoops and I'm gonna put in each one of these. Now, if you have a problem with touching the meat, you can just take your scoop and push down in there. But you know me, I like to use my hands. Put a little oil on my fingers and I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna press this meat to where it kind of goes up the sides a bit. What we're doing is we're kind of making a cup. And speaking of cup, if you want, and you don't have a pan like this, you can absolutely do this on a slightly smaller scale and do this with muffin cups, muffin tins. Wash the hands. Now we'll grab our filler. I'm not sure how many is gonna fit in here. I'm thinking we're gonna start with 3. Well, let's start with 2. Because I don't want to have to go back and pull scoops out. We didn't reach half yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that third one in there like I originally thought. But we wanna kinda keep it towards the middle of it. Wanna overfill it. Don't cover the meat, I guess is what I'm saying. Don't cover your hamburger meat. So we're gonna cap this, and they'll need to, like a potter, you'll need to pretend it's like clay to be able to put this together, otherwise they'll separate. Now I'm gonna go back through, and I should have enough meat to put 2 scoops on each one. Now remember, this is kind of sticky. Go ahead and oil up those hands. And I'm gonna push that over the top and down the sides to kind of seal it. And that's how I do my meatloafs anyway, is that leaves a well for the grease to go. And so now we have a pocket. So again, we're pressing down, and then to seal them together, just go around the edges to make your meatloaf. I have a mini spatula. I think that's gonna work really well to really shape this just a little bit better than my hands could. So we've got a little bit, just not much at all, but a little bit of this. Now remember, this is not raw. This is our cream cheese, our onion, our peppers, all that. Not much at all in there. And it's pretty thick. So we're going to make a sauce. And I'm gonna add some brown sugar, not quite a half cup. We're gonna add some stone ground mustard, a couple tablespoons. We're gonna add quite a bit of ketchup. Let's see, that's maybe a cup and a half. A little bit of hot honey, probably a tablespoon. And some Worcestershire sauce. Let's add about a tablespoon of that too. Now we've got a really good sauce. And we're just gonna set this off to the side and kind of let all that brown sugar melt and become a little more liquid-like. Make sure we're mixing all the goodness in. There it is. I just heard the oven tell me it's preheated. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in at 400 degrees. I think we'll go ahead and do about 30 minutes before we put our topping on. I'll see you then. Ooh, hot diggity, they look good. They look so good. Okay. We are going to baste these babies. You know what? I think I want to take some of this fat off first. So I'm gonna go drain some of that off. Okay, with all that cheese and everything in there, and then that olive oil we put in, we were plenty in the fat zone. So now I'm just going to put a scoop of our delicious glaze on each one of these. Any of them it looks like they didn't quite get as much, go ahead and use it up, because there will be no need to save any of this. Spread it out really good. And yeah, we'll probably have some of it burn. So try to keep it off the sides. It's going to burn if it gets on the sides. Expect that to happen. You might get a little smoke in your kitchen. We call that flavor around here. So now I'm gonna put these back into the oven for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then we'll bring them out and let them cool good before you serve, because they'll fall apart, you'll lose that moisture. You don't want any of that stuff to happen. So it's kind of like a steak. Be patient and let it cool. Ooh, yum. Pretty amazing looking plate, isn't it? Hey, are you curious about this delicious side dish I have going on here? Well, check out the last video that I made, and you can see how you can whip that up in 10 minutes or less. Now is the test. Ooh, the cheese is coming out. Shall we see what it looks like inside? I think we shall. There you have it. Jalapeno popper stuffed mini meatloaf. Shall we give it a taste? I think we should. Ooh, it's steamy and hot. Winner, winner, meatloaf dinner. Guys, give it a try and let me know what would you add or do differently on your stuffed meatloaf. See you next time right here at the Inquisitive Farm Wife. Bye for now.